Hello, SEAHO. Nairi Tryman, SEAHO president here, and hope everyone is doing well as we prepare, or in some cases, have already welcomed our students to campus in the fall. I know that we are all at work making adjustments to our normal routines as we deal with the coronavirus pandemic and are adjusting to what seems to be our new normal for the foreseeable future. If I told you that I had a roadmap that I was going to follow in the coming months to successfully steer this organization, I would simply not be telling the truth. If I told you that I felt like the times ahead of us were going to be smooth sailing, I would be telling you a big old lie. If I told you that Two Steps training outlook for the upcoming year included another great year, I would be less than forthcoming. In fact, I have no clue what the next few months will look like for this organization. I am doing my best to adapt and make decisions that are in the best interest of this association with the information that we have. What I do know is that I have a dedicated team on the executive board that is going to help me figure everything out as best we can. When I agreed to be nominated for this position, I envisioned following the template of leadership and making some relatively slight changes as I instituted my vision. I figured I would be stressed out as I prepared for the annual conference and made sure that all of my T's were crossed and my I's dotted as I handed the organization over to President elect Dee Allard. Well, fate has decided to hand me a bunch of lemons, and I'm choosing to make some good old lemonade. So let me tell you what we have been doing and give you an outlook of what we are looking to do. There were several meetings with our friends at the University of Miami to talk about Rely 2020 and whether I was going to sneak in a Memorial Day visit to Miami. After taking a look at all the variables and holding out hope that we may have the Institute this year, we made the decision to cancel. It was a tough but necessary decision. We're continuing to meet and discuss ways to adjust requirements so that we will not miss an entire class of professionals for what I consider to be one of the premier professional development opportunities in both our region and the country. We hope to see you in person in Miami in 2021. We moved to a series of virtual meetings in lieu of summer in-person meetings for the 2021 Conference Host Committee. We usually have an on-site meeting where we talk through some of the logistics and do some preliminary game planning, what the conference will look like. It is a great opportunity for the committee to walk spaces and ask questions of on-site staff. We have adapted and using virtual methods to achieve the same goal of planning. We also continue to negotiate with our friends in Charleston to figure out what is going to be best for the organization moving forward. We also had the first ever virtual regional reception as a part of the first ever Aku Hawaii Virtual Summit. We were able to share laughs and catch up with friends while also talking about ways we are preparing our campuses for the return of our students. Though different, I had a great time catching up virtually, and this may be a foreshadowing of what our annual conference could look like in a virtual format. Most recently, your executive board completed our virtual board retreat. Though we weren't able to be together in person, we were together in spirit. We spent hours together over a span of 3 days discussing the association's business and ways for us to move forward. Included in our time together was a review of the strategic plan that was adopted last year under the leadership of past President Gavin Roark, as well as a lively conversation about our 2021 conference and the various scenarios that we may be looking at by the time 2021 comes around. Your executive board and the 2021 host committee are exploring ways to bring you a quality conference, and there will be some virtual component for 2021. We remain committed to bringing you a quality conference experience in 2021 and will push forward with that goal in mind. I think it also prudent for me to tell you that there is a potential for us to lose money this year. As you may or may not know, we have signed contracts for multiple years for our annual conferences. This helps to keep costs down as we can lock in rates and take other steps to be good trainers for two steps. The downside of that is that we have contractual obligations in the midst of a pandemic that is radically changing the way we conduct business in the short term and possibly the long term. We are exploring every option available and will continue to work to reduce and potentially eliminate any financial exposure that we may have absent of an in-person conference. We will be good stewards of our financial resources. To say we have been busy would be an understatement. The great Olympic sprinter Michael Johnson said, "Pressure is nothing more than the shadow of great opportunity." I am thankful for this opportunity as well as the pressure associated with it, and I am excited about the great things that will come from this experience. Ultimately, I'm asking for your patience and that you extend me a little bit of grace. As I mentioned at the onset of this message, I'm not sure what the next few months will look like, both with this association and our respective campuses, but I am sure that we will move forward. There will likely be some lessons learned along the way as we deal with rapidly changing conditions. Two-Step may lose a little weight in this season as some of the training facilities are closed, but I am sure he will be okay in the long run. I couldn't bring this address to a close without saying thank you to all the people who have served in this role before me. They have built a strong foundation for this great association that will help us weather the uncertainty of the coronavirus pandemic. Because of them, SEAHO is positioned well to continue to be successful. Thank you to the executive team for their support and the ways that they have challenged me. Thank you to all the people on the governing council for what you're already doing and what you will do. Thank you to the 2021 host committee for sticking with it, even though this experience has not been what you signed up for. Lastly, thank you to everyone who is taking the time to digest this message. I'm appreciative to you for being a part of SEAHO and for a contribution that you will make to help our association. As the great philosophers Kendrick Lamar and Ty Tribbett said independently, we're going to be all right. Peace and blessings to you, SEAHO, and thank you for trusting me to lead.